Hi.
Hey.
Welcome back. It feels like ages since we recorded, even though it's been, I guess books has been feels like forever. Thursday. No, that's been a long time ago. Was it Thursday before we went to... I'm so confused.
Yeah, I think it was because...
And then it came out on...
Yeah, because we did Thursday and Monday.
I know.
Because we did 1 and 1.
I can't remember. No, I think we did both last Monday because we did the challenge and it was really freaking short. And then we did... That's right. We did crime right afterwards. But the books was super short, so it didn't take very long. It was just a 33-minute episode.
There's just been a lot of work between then and now.
Mm-hmm.
A lot has happened.
And then my sister was visiting, and we had our day on Saturday.
And I was busy Sunday, because yesterday was my anniversary.
Aww. 2 years.
2 years married, 6 years total. Get it right.
You guys are so cute.
I don't care about the marriage date. I care about the beginning, because it's the same day. I set it up that way. Got together and married on the same day, just 4 years apart.
Your wedding birthday is Libra.
I don't want to talk about it. It's funny because you're a Libra.
I am a Libra.
Also something I don't want to talk about.
I'm a Libra. My baby's a Libra.
That's the only Libra I like.
What are you, a Scorpio? The worst?
The best. The most annoying, probably.
So this is why we love spooky season?
Yes, we're October babies. I literally was born 5 days before Halloween, so every birthday I had as a child was Halloween themed. It's all I know. It's literally in my blood. I'm tearing up thinking about it. Oh my god.
I love fall. You're so weird.
Thank you.
We love fall. We love spooky season. Spooky season.
This is just a sweater, but it still counts. Because it's tan.
It's chestnut colored. Oh.
Spoiler
about our book tonight. Yeah. My birthday's Thursday. This will be out on Wednesday.
We sound like goofs a little bit tonight.
It's this drink, man.
I can't believe you're going to be 46 on Thursday.
Shut up. Sarah's full of poo-poo. I'm going to be 35.
Not much different.
You're a twat waffle. I am going to be 35.
You're 10 years and 10 days.
So, inside joke, when we first met, we had a lot of drinks at a local restaurant. And
a lot. Like, things were moving in slow motion.
We had a great time, though. It was so much fun.
Yes.
Our bill was $75 a piece. It was, and we barely ate anything.
Yeah, it was all drinks. That was all alcohol.
That was the night we realized we were besties.
And some of it
Besties.
was, like, most of it was shots, so they weren't expensive. And we still spent $75.
That was the night we realized we were besties, and...
That's the night I met your husband.
We met each other's husbands.
Yeah, you met mine. He was the DD.
You came to my house.
Yeah.
We were super obsessed with After.
I spilled a drink in your floor.
Oh, yeah.
And your husband was like, don't worry about it. Caitlin's done it 1,000,000 times.
We had a great time that night. That night will live in infamy. And then we kept saying our birthdays were 10 years and 10 days apart.
Because 10 and 10 sounded great.
Especially when you've been drinking.
It took us, like 6 months.
Yeah. It took a long time to realize it was actually 10 months and 20 days.
Wait, no, 10 years.
10 years and 20 days. Yeah, someone else had to point that out because we are mathematical idiots.
Well, we pointed it out when we were intoxicated, and then it was just there. We rolled with it. We didn't have any reason to think about it.
It was crazy. But that night was awesome.
And here we are.
Here we are, almost 3 years later.
Almost 3 years later, you have a whole other child now.
I've created another human being.
I purchased a home, got married. We both switched jobs.
I was the maid of honor in your wedding.
That's true. You were there.
I was there.
You helped me get ready.
And
we went and got our hair did together.
I've got pictures.
We hung out the night before. I didn't even stay at my house. I stayed with you.
You stayed with me.
Steven went and got us breakfast.
Because we were hungover.
Very hungover. So hungover that the hairspray at the hair salon made me want to throw up.
Because we had been drinking peach-flavored liquor.
Mm-hmm.
And
the hairspray was peach scented.
And we were both like, ugh.
It was bad.
It was bad. But we got a whole bunch of like different of those moonshines.
Mm-hmm.
And we drank a whole bunch of moonshine.
It was worth it.
It was so fun. We had a great time. Yeah, that was a blast.
I was married in October, so we had like an October themed.
It was really pretty. Very fall-esque.
Mm-hmm.
Outdoors. It was freezing balls that night.
I didn't expect it to get that cold that fast. I
didn't either.
I wanted an evening wedding, and it bit me in the ass, but you know what? It's fine. I'm married. We've made it 2 years now, so.
Heck yeah. It was freaking cold that night, though. I'll never forget that.
I know, because we literally got married at 8, and then everybody was like, okay, bye.
Yeah, because it was cold.
It was freezing.
Yeah. You did cake and food, and we're just very much about October and fall, and all the good things just happen in fall. I'm my true self when October hits.
Same, but I kind of start back in September.
True, like August 1st, I'm like, oh, it's going to be fall. I even put my fall sign out. Steven like rolled up on our street and was like, why do you have the fall sign out on the front porch? I was like, because it's fall, idiot.
Duh. It's September, so.
It was August 1st.
It's August, duh. I mean, to be fair, in my head, summer is only June and July. And then after that, fall semi starts, and then September rolls around and fall's completely here.
It's fair game.
And then the rest is just winter with maybe 1 month of spring. Like, that's just how it is in my head.
Same. And we're having like such a great fall right now.
I know. I've never felt it get cooled off so fast. I saw this post on Facebook where it was like fall rolled around and summer was literally like, okay, I'm out.
I know. That's awesome because normally it doesn't work out like that.
I know. Normally we'll have like a good week and then it goes back up in the 90s for a little bit. I mean, I remember last October, like the first 2 weeks of October were miserable.
Yeah.
And this year, like, I literally got to wear a sweater today.
I know. I wore this sweatshirt. So I take it really personally when it's hot on my birthday. It just makes me very upset and very angry.
Mm-hmm.
So this year I've been tracking the weather because it's been so nice out. And the hottest day this week is my birthday. 76, which is not horrible, but still annoying. Like, it's not fair.
I've never had to worry about it. Mine's at the end of October, so by then it's usually like low 70s, high 60s every day.
Yeah.
So
mine's at the beginning where it could still be 80.
I mean, 76 is not too bad, I'd say, for your birthday, because I remember last year it was still like low 90s, high 80s in October.
I don't even think I stepped outside last year because I just had the baby.
That's true.
So I don't even know.
I remember
it could have been super hot.
I came and saw you and the baby, right? It was, like a week after? Like, I waited, and I came. Yes, because I brought your birthday present. I came and seen you and the baby
on your first thing in the morning.
Yes, because I came on your birthday. I wanted to give you your birthday present. So it was like almost 2 weeks after the baby was born. And I literally wore a sweatshirt, and you were like, how are you wearing that? And I was like, because it's fucking fall. Of course I'm going to wear it.
But you had come before that.
Yeah, but I just remembered wearing that sweatshirt that day, and you were like, why?
I know.
How?
Yeah.
I was like,
I hadn't left the house in ages.
Because I spent $40 on this sweatshirt, and it's supposed to be fall.
Right. I agree. Anyway, we've ranted about fall for about 15 minutes now.
It's worth it.
Do you want to talk about our... Oh, I'm Caitlin.
I'm Sarah.
And this is Books, Booze,
and Besties.
Wah, wah. No, welcome back.
Don't make that noise.
No, don't do it. Just kidding.
People are going to turn us off now.
Yay. No.
No.
That came at the wrong time. Just kidding.
Tell me how you really feel.
Don't turn us off.
I gotta put my
turn us
on. Don't do that either. Let's cut.
Do you want to talk about our drink? Or should I? I don't know. You can talk about it.
I mean, it's my job to talk about the drink. Why are you trying to take my literal role?
Talk about our drink.
So this is Witch's Piss, and I'm just kidding. It's it's
Ghostbuster.
I'm glad you said it because I wanted to say Ghostbuster Nut, and I did not want to say that.
The Ghost Bus Nut. The ghost.
I don't know. Ghostbusters just wants me to say, because obviously my mind's in the gutter. I wanted to say Ghostbuster Nut, No, it's the Ghostbuster.
So, actually, if you're looking it up, it's a green tea cocktail with Jameson. But we were like, okay, I went to the store and I was looking for all kinds of different spooky cocktails mixes, and they were out of so much. I don't know what was going on, if we're like at a shortage at the liquor store. But so the guy was like, hey, do you like green tea? Because this drink is amazing. And I was like, sure. We'll just make it and we'll rename it. So we renamed it to the Ghostbuster.
It literally tastes like green tea, though. Like, it's spot on.
But it's better.
Yeah, and you would not think that there was some strong-ass liquor in here.
Jameson?
Yeah.
Well, I knew by the time I was buzzed after one.
Well, you know what I meant. Like, you don't taste it. You don't even taste... You don't even taste the peach schnapps in there. I mean, you get the hint of peach, but no alcohol. Right.
It's delicious. It's could sneak up on you in a heartbeat, like it has for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's delicious.
It's just yummy.
Pinterest green tea cocktail with Jameson.
It's yummy.
It pops right up, and it's amazeballs. Like, it is in, like I said, it's a contender with the Sunset Malibu.
I mean, Sunset Malibu's always going to win for me, but that's because I like juice. I like juice. Although I do love some green tea, though, so, yeah.
Same. It's really good,
I can fuck up some green tea like no other.
Yeah, it's delicious. Are you buzzed?
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't think I'm as buzzed as you are. I also ate literally right before you got here, and we had pizza, so I'm good.
We had pork chops. We had lemon pepper pork chops.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It was good. Mixed veggies and potatoes.
Were there carrots in your mixed vegetables? You're fucking disgusting.
I love it. I steamed them with some butter and salt and pepper.
I mean, if there were no carrots in it, maybe disgust me.
It was a mixed bag. Mixed bags of veggies are $6 now. It's insane.
Ice cream's $2.
What kind?
Kroger brand.
Oh.
I don't know how much veggies are because I don't buy them. Well, I buy ice cream.
Ice cream is cheaper than mixed veggies.
It's also really bad for you, but that doesn't mean it's not in my freezer.
We still have a birthday cake sitting on our kitchen counter. Steven didn't like it.
What did he eat, though? The strawberry or the cookies and cream?
I think he ate the cookies and cream.
I thought it was good.
I did, too. Whatever, Steven.
Your husband was trying to get me and my husband to take a whole ass cake home.
Well, we had so much cake. I'm going to have an ice cream cake on Thursday.
Cool.
I'm pretty excited about it.
Happy birthday.
Thanks.
Why are you telling me?
I don't know. You want to come over?
No, I don't.
Why?
Because I wasn't invited until right then. That's awkward, embarrassing.
You were invited to my little party last year.
Yeah, but Steven himself invited me. Thank you. Because you didn't know about it.
I didn't know he invited anybody. Anyway, we keep getting thrown off. So this week, our book is The Chestnut Man.
I do not... Hold on, let me see. It's like Søren, but I don't want to try to pronounce his last name.
Did we talk about this in our last?
We talked about the book.
Søren Sveistrup.
That sounds right. Sveistrup.
I'm probably way wrong.
Well, he's Danish, so Sveistrup.
Yeah.
This book is a hefty book.
It was good.
The hardback book is 516 pages, but I read the ebook, so it was 600 for me.
I did the Audible, and it was about 15 and almost 16 hours. It was...
Yeah, because I remember you telling me that, I mean, you were a decent ways into the book, and you were like, yeah, I've got 12 hours left, and I was like, Jesus.
Yeah. It was good, though. I enjoyed listening to it. The guy who read it was really good.
This is what the author looks like. He kind of looks like Gordon Ramsay without hair. I mean, do you see it?
Yeah. He's
an internationally acclaimed scriptwriter, creator, film producer of numerous TV series, which I did see that.
Like what? The Chestnut Man?
He was the creator and writer of a show called The Killing.
Oh my God, The Killing. Have you watched it? It's amazing.
Which has won several international awards, been sold to more than 100 countries all over the world, and was remade for AMC by Fox Television Studios in the U.S. Søren himself lives in Copenhagen, which makes sense because he's Danish, and this book is set in Denmark.
Killing. Oh my gosh, funny story. I'll tell it quickly because we've talked a whole bunch. The Killing is really good. It used to be on Netflix. And before I had any kids, me and Steven, before you could get Netflix on your streaming service or whatever.
When you had to get the literal DVD?
Well, no, you could get it, like you could get the app and watch it on your phone. Me and Steven would watch The Killing on my tablet in our living room. Because we couldn't get on our TV yet. So we would sit and we would plug our headphones in. And we would watch The Killing.
When was that? Like
2011. Yeah.
I wasn't even in high school yet. I was in 8th grade.
For real? How old was I? I was 2011. I was... Oh, yeah, I guess so. Because I was only 24.
I was... Let's see. How old would I have been? Actually, I would have been a freshman. Because, well, it's weird because the cutoff for school is October 3rd, as you know. Mm-hmm. I was born October 26th, so I was always the oldest child in all of my classes.
Me too.
Because I was right there after the cutoff.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, I might have been in high school. I graduated in 2016, though, so I really feel like...
You probably were in 8th grade, actually, because I turned 16 right at the beginning of my sophomore year, so dialed that back 2 years, it would have been 8th grade.
Yeah, so I would have been in 8th grade.
Because I remember getting my, permit and license before everybody else.
Yeah, I got mine literally, right after school started.
You're just so young to me, it's hard to imagine you being older than everybody else.
Yeah, I was, the oldest
We are besties, but I am a decade... 20 days older.
There it is.
I
mean, I got to start working a real job before most people because I turned 16 in October and
yeah,
I didn't have to do that underage laws bullshit. And I'm just kidding. I got to work 39.99 hours a week.
Anyways, so this week we did do The Chestnut Man, which is actually a very popular Netflix series. I have not watched it, but Sarah has.
I watched the show before I read the book, and I liked it enough that I wanted to read the book. Which, we don't even have to pull up a summary today, because we got it right here.
Go, girl.
If you find one, he's already found you. A psychopath is terrorizing Copenhagen. His calling card is a Chestnut Man, a handmade doll made of matchsticks and 2 chestnuts, which he leaves at each bloody crime scene. Examining the dolls, forensics makes a shocking discovery. A fingerprint belonging to a young girl. Not any girl. A government minister's daughter who had been kidnapped and murdered a year ago.
Yikes.
A tragic coincidence? I think not. Or something more twisted. To save innocent lives, a pair of detectives must put aside their differences to piece together the Chestnut Man's gruesome clues. Because it's clear that the madman is on a mission that is far from over. And no one is safe.
Ah!
Did that sound like some slam poetry, like snaps?
I liked it.
Well, that's embarrassing.
So, what'd you think? I mean, you've seen the show too.
Well, I mean, you know what I think of this. I've told you.
I
recommended it.
So for someone reading the book, I'd give it a 4 out of 5.
Oh.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I was very intrigued. It sort of gave me, which I know you haven't read it, but Girl with a Dragon Tattoo vibes.
Did it?
Yes.
I've seen the movie.
Maybe it's because they're
watched.
both in the same.
Anyways, yeah, it's kind of the same concept, though. I've seen Girl with a Dragon Tattoo, the movie, so I kind of know.
The one with Daniel Craig?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's a perfect combination of mystery and horror.
Yeah.
And they add in a little bit of romance in there, but I feel like it's just surface level romance.
I really thought, the names in this book.
Tulane and Hess.
And Hess were going to hook up.
So I'll just say this right out in the beginning. The show and...
Spoiler.
The show and the book are like spot on. There are very few differences and they're minor things that do not matter. The show leaves off the exact same way. And Netflix was going to do a second season, but they just decided not to.
Really? Well, whatever I read earlier, I was looking up some stuff about it, and it said it was like unsure. Mm-hmm. It was kind of in limbo.
Yeah, but the first season of this came out in like 2020.
Oh, so it's been a long time, so I'm guessing no.
Yeah, it might have been 2021, but still, it's been like a year and a half since the other one came out.
Yeah.
So.
Gotcha.
But the first season is really good. If you ever watch it.
I will watch it. I just didn't have time.
I mean, it's in another language too, so you have to watch the subtitles.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I didn't have time to like sit down.
Because you have to be fully involved.
Right, because you have to read it.
But it's good. I mean, the show obviously pulled me in enough that I was like, okay, let's read the book too. But the book and the show are like the same thing. I mean, there are little details that get added in the book, obviously, because it's super long and a show has to smush everything together.
Right.
But the show did a really good job of displaying.
Like, it was pretty close.
Yeah.
I did think Tulane. How do you say it?
It's Tulane.
Tulane?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I listened to Audible, so that's what they said, but you never know. Tulane and Hess were going to hook up. Because there is that one little thing of, like, Sebastian was at her house. And I thought that something different was going to happen with Sebastian. Like, because she didn't, like, she told him, like, look, if you're not happy with the arrangement.
Yeah, because.
Move on.
She's afraid of commitment. Sebastian is ready for commitment.
It never said anything else about that.
Yeah, because the book wanted to focus on everything else.
Yeah.
But there are little hints here and there that Hess and Tulane have a little bit of a thing.
Like, he was looking at her after he left, like he was looking at her through the window.
Well, I mean, it starts like they literally go to the pediatric wing to talk to the pediatric doctor the first time. And Hess comments about the doctor, like, checking Tulane out and flirting with her. And he's like, I've never really checked her out. And then he's like, but I can see why he'd be interested.
Yeah. And I mean, like, it doesn't give too much of a Hess backstory. And I really wanted to know, like, why is he the way that he is?
It mentions it very briefly. Nylander, the police chief, has to tell Tulene why, because obviously she is pissed at Hess every other page.
Yeah. In the beginning?
Yes. He leaves Copenhagen, like he is a Copenhagen native. Hess is. He was married, had a daughter, lost both of them to a house fire while he was working. He was the lone survivor. So that's why he joined Europol, because he's always moving, doesn't have to stay in the same place, doesn't have to think.
Gotcha.
That's why when they sent him back to Copenhagen, he absolutely hated it, because he didn't want to be there. He didn't want to deal with it.
Oh, I mean, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Like, listening to it is so different, because...
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a very brief...
Yeah, I don't...
Like, they don't go into detail about it. Nylander tells Tulene... I don't even think she really processes it. I think she might say, like, one comment to herself about, like, well, no wonder or something like that.
Yeah.
And then it moves on, and she's kind of softer with Hess after that, but, like, it's really, like, blink of the eye kind of thing.
Right. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't recall that part. So I'm glad that you cleared that up for me. After I watched the show, because some parts were confusing.
Yes, I think watching the show will clear a lot. I mean, like... I mean, I agree with you. Like, we kind of...
There was a lot of people, a lot of characters.
We didn't talk about it much yesterday, but that is one of the things we did talk about. Sorry. There are a lot of people in this book.
Yes.
But if you watch the show, it's easier to keep up with who is who, because you've got a face. And,
right.
And obviously in a show, they're able to split it up where a book can't.
Yeah, there's so many characters in this book. I was like, holy crap. Mm-hmm. And plus where it's in, like, Swedish.
Yeah.
And some, like, not, like, names.
Yes.
More
like
so.
Tulene and Nylander and...
Yes.
Eric.
Well, I know Rosa.
Well, it's like Eric Sargent Lawson and...
Some of the victims.
The Hartungs and... Yeah.
The victims' names were kind of...
yeah, because there's Laura and Anne, but then it's like Anne Kaiser and...
But the couple that gets accused, her name's like...
Oh, what is her name? I can't... Yes, but
hold on.
They're like harder to pronounce names. I get it.
Yes.
And there are a lot of like minor characters that play a role in this book. And the show is able to... portray that in a way where you know who's a minor character and who's not, and you're able to just like go all in. Like, I found the show before I found the book, and it's only 6 episodes, and I binged that shit so hard.
Yeah.
It was good. Because it starts off the same way the book did. You literally, she wakes up with Sebastian, and then she's finding a woman with an arm missing, or a hand missing.
Oh, like the show starts with her waking up with Sebastian?
Yeah, like it does in the book, where they, you know, do the naughty. She goes to work. Naughty. And then immediately is at a crime scene, which in a book, that takes like 10 minutes to read. In the show, it took like 30 seconds to go through all that.
Yeah. Benedicta is the girl, or Benedict. I don't know how you say it. I don't want to pretend to know German, Swedish,
Danish.
I
couldn't tell you.
Yeah, and then
which I do think some of these... Oh, I misspoke too. The show starts with the literal prologue. Yeah. This starts with the 1980s and the cop getting killed. Mm-hmm. It's literally spot on. But even in that chapter, it talks about the Berlin Wall falling, so I'm sure some of the people in this book are actually German.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because they're literally right next door. I mean, the cop is literally thinking to himself in the first chapter about taking his wife down to see it because they know that the Berlin Wall is about to fall. So
I remember that now. Yeah. It was just like maybe listening to it in Audible was also different because I was having to keep up myself instead of like seeing it written. So
yeah, I struggle really hard with Audible unless it's like a shorter book because it's so hard for me to visualize. And, like, in a book, I can stop and go back and reread it.
Well, I think one of the things I started noticing immediately was, like, Tulane and Hess. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, okay. So I tried to follow them. Mm-hmm. But then it was like, okay, I got to keep up with
Nylander?
Mm-hmm. I was going to say Norlander. I was like,
yeah, because you got to keep up with Gins, Nylander, Tulane, Hess,
Rosa.
Yes, Rosa, and Gustav, the son, and what is his name, the husband?
I just saw it. Hold on.
But you got to keep up with the hard tongues because they play a vital role.
Yes.
But then you throw in things like Laura and Anne and...
Yes, it was just like throwing me off big time.
And Lee and Granddad and...
I just want to say, I knew that police officer was going to die when he was talking smack about Hess. He was like, I'm going to show him. I'm going to take care of this right now. Well, and freaking, what's her face? I can't remember any of the characters' names. I should have wrote them down this time. The girl who went to the officer and was like, I want to give my child up until I could get my life together.
Oh.
Yessa. Yeah. Yessie. That's what it was. Because I kept thinking Jessie, but I was like, it's not Jessie.
It's Jessie.
Yessie. Mm-hmm. And then she ends up getting killed. Mm-hmm. I knew when he was like, I'm going to go out here and check this out. I know he told me not to go anywhere, but screw him.
Well, and...
like, stop being such a... like, why you got to be a hero here?
Well, and Tulane in the beginning of the book talks about how they're, like, seasoned detectives and they're so great, like Jackson and them. And you just, like... anytime they're mentioned in the book, you realize just, like, how douchey and dumb they are.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just silly. I mean, they didn't even take Tulane seriously because she's a girl.
Right.
And she's young. Like, they keep mentioning, like, how young she is to be in the department. She's 30 years old.
Yeah. Even in the beginning when she's wanting to transfer, he's like, I don't really like women.
Yeah. He's like...
in the department.
He's like, I don't like women in the being detectives, but I gotta give her credit. She's decent. That's mean.
Like, well, I guess she's proved herself, so there's that. But yeah, I knew that guy was going to die. He was too douchey, and I'm not going to say he didn't deserve it, because he was told to do one thing and was like, well, I'm screw him, screw Hess, screw Tulane. I'm going to go out here and do my own thing. Screw them both.
And then it got him and the girl killed.
Yes.
Which I knew it was coming too, because they were no closer to figuring out who the killer was for her to magically survive. Like, there was too much book left.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't close enough to know who it was.
And I knew that they were screwing with the police officers.
Yeah, then you finally get to that point and you're like, wow, they have to literally be in the police department to know everything that's going on. Which right after this happens, even Tulane and Hess and Nylander are like, it literally has to be someone here, because...
right.
How did they literally know where we were going to be?
How did they get how they connect all these dots? Mm-hmm. It should make sense.
Which, obviously, if you haven't read it, spoiler, but you find out it's Gins. Yes. Which is so crazy to me. I mean, like, I get it, Gins is smart and stuff, but, like, that was such a big plot twist. He's pulling this off. But, I mean, it talks about how athletic he was, and he was able to catch up to Laura when she was in the fort. And? The second victim, he was able to catch up to her in the forest. It was literally ahead of her because she thought she'd lost him, started to run again, and he was like, here I am. Like, I was waiting for you.
Yeah.
Like, it's just intense.
Anne is the wife of he was abusing the daughters.
Yes.
It talked about him.
Yes. He pushed one of the daughters down the stairs. He hit the other one, which, to be fair... the reason Gins was killing or, like, lashing out, I understand all those children were victims. He, too, was a victim. But when in the end, Tulane finally realizes it's him. She's like, why are you blaming just the mother? Like, the father's just as much at fault. And he's like, but it's the mother's job to protect.
Right.
So, is it the dad's?
Exactly. And in this case, the dads were the ones that were
literally
doing the abusing. So, it didn't even make sense.
Which it kind of, like, portrays back to when they were with Osam's family. And he was literally abusing him and his twin sister. And
right.
So, I mean, when he was that young, I guess why that philosophy might have been drilled into his head. But still, it was literally the dads abusing all of these children.
Right. It was
until the third victim.
Oh,
then,
yeah.
Then it was just an absent father. Yeah, there was no father.
Exactly. Yeah.
But, I mean, like, in the first two, it was very severe. I mean, it literally started out so bad. Magnus was being sexually abused.
He's being raped.
There was literally a sex dungeon built to do this to him.
Yeah.
And then you have...
I was stunned. I was like, holy crap.
And then you have Eric and Anne's daughters, who their literal biological father is, like, beating them and like, not the mother.
Concussing them?
Like, you don't see that. You don't... I mean, it's very rare for the father to be abusing the children and not the mother.
Yeah.
But she knew. That one got me a little bit. I could kind of let Magnus go because seemed like he was kind of shut off and silent after losing his father, so he was already that way when Hogg got a hold of him.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I just, like, thinking about it, being in that situation, his mother had to know a lot sooner than she did, too, because either her fiance was not working when she was working and had free access to Magnus. Or they were literally home at the same time sometimes, and he and Magnus would just go out to the garage and do what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That went on for a long time.
Yeah, for real. And then, you know, the girls, you know, if he's abusing her, why would she leave them with him to go visit her mother?
Are you talking about when she's killed?
No, she was visiting her mother when he hit the girl the first time.
That's right. Well,
he was alone with them.
I don't know. Maybe she thought he wasn't going to do it to them. Maybe she thought it was just going to stay verbal with her, but still, that's risky.
Right?
Because she'd been the only one taking care of them, really, up until then. Like, Dad was Dad, but he wasn't the caretaker.
Yeah. That's why I was like, so she knows he's an abuser and still left her two daughters with him?
Mm-hmm.
Seems sketchy.
Well, and even in the book, like, they bring this up in the book and in the show. I mean, how do you think Gens realized that Magnus was being abused?
I don't know.
Hogg was literally live streaming his raping Magnus, which means Gens was literally online seeing this shit.
Did it say that in the book?
That he was live streaming?
Yeah.
Raping Magnus? Yes.
Oh, wait. I think I remember that now.
Because that's how they caught him. He came back to get his computer with the files and all the uploads. That's when he attacked Hess, and Tulane came in and caught him.
Yes, that's what it was.
So they were literally like, how would the person know? He had to see those videos of Magnus on the internet.
Yeah.
So what was Gens doing in the first place?
Right.
Was he literally like, all right, I'm ready to take my vengeance out, and literally sought out people that deserved it?
Unless he saw, he was like looking at things that came through the system and was like, hey, I'm going to check on this. I don't know.
I mean, maybe because Magnus was in treatment for autism before Gens sent in the anonymous report, but still, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's how he found out.
That's so horrible.
And I don't know if maybe Magnus is what caused him to find the two girls in the system because they were in the same unit.
Right.
But that, like, it's just intense how Gens was able to know all of this shit and target.
Right.
And I don't know if the Audible really did a good job depicting it, but Tulane was almost gonna be the final victim. I mean, Rosa was always the target.
Yes.
But he, on multiple occasions, would say things to Tulane like, get yourself in line, or I will kill you too. over Lee.
See, I kind of thought that once they identified the targets as being mothers who were neglectful, or what he identified as neglectful.
Yeah.
And then it kept talking about how she forgot to pick up her daughter, or she forgot to do this, or she left the school early, or, and I kept thinking, oh my gosh, she's going to end up being like I thought it would turn into like one of those things where she was a potential victim, but it ends up being like someone gets there in time, like Hess would get there in time.
Yeah.
But
I think he had a soft spot for Tulene, and he was trying to give her the opportunity to be better, because there were times where he would say things and then she would end up taking the call from Lee. Like, I know one time she got a call and she didn't take it, and he's like, that's your daughter, you should take it. And then she did, and he was like, okay, well, you passed that one, you know. And she did actually go to the Halloween festival at school, which helped her there. When they finally go on the run after she's left homicide and is going to NC3, she stops to talk to Lee. So it's like, anytime he was potentially considering it, she passed. But, like, she was going to be a target, I'm pretty sure. I think
that's what I thought it was going to come to.
I think Yessie was substituted in when Tulene kind of proved herself occasionally.
Yeah. I felt that as well. Like, I definitely saw that coming.
Because, I mean, it just, there was I thought of it a minute ago, and I forgot it now, but there was another scene where it really, like, depicted, like, she was an option for him.
Yeah. I agree. I definitely felt like she was gonna turn into the victim.
Which, I don't know what he was planning to do with her at the end. I guess keep her like he did the Hartung's daughter when he was just leaving with her. He didn't kill her.
Yeah.
But had her, like, bound up in the backseat. Like, what were you gonna do? Just take her and Christine and go live life?
And just hang out?
Also, I don't know how he roped his sister into that. Like, he might be, like, the alpha or whatever you want to call it. And she's, like, he's the leader and she's the follower.
Right.
But I don't care who you are. I'm not going to keep a kidnapped child for over a year for you.
Right. Knowing that they're looking for her. They think she's dead.
Like, I literally had to leave the country and live on the border of 2 countries.
Yeah.
So you can kill people and I keep the person you've convinced people is dead?
Right.
No?
Yeah. No, I get that. Like, it was just weird. I don't know how his sister got into that.
I mean, I guess because maybe she saw him as, like, the protector, too, because he's the one that kind of saved them.
Like, we're supposed to be in this together.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do it, I'm going to help you no matter what. Like an allegiance.
Mm-hmm. Well, and even when they were trying to convince him that, like, while Rosa did something that caused, inevitably caused him and his sister to be harmed, she was a child, too, at the time, and no one would have ever known that her asking, or, because, I mean, she did lie.
Mm-hmm.
But she was also a child and did what she thought she needed to do to be the only child in that home.
Right.
But that's what Gins based everything off of.
Right.
Like, it was so intense. Like, you could tell immediately, like, there was more to him. Like, he was, like, on Linus Becker's level. Like, should have been, like, in a mental institution getting help level.
Just the fact that he was a child accusing a child, like, you've ruined my life, and then I'm going to use my entire childhood to plot revenge against you.
Well, I mean, and he also had to be on another level. He was a
psychopath.
Well, he had to be on that level when he was a child, too, because, yes, they were abused, but his immediate response was to kill an entire family.
Mm-hmm.
We, as therapists, work with abused children every day. It takes a lot to be able to even think that, let alone do it.
Right.
And then he just meticulously planned his whole plan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, down to I have to have an electric saw that is battery powered, not cord powered. Where I'm going to do this, I'm going to stalk people. I'm going to become a runner, so I'm athletic enough to chase them down if I need to.
And I have to be meticulous. Like, I have to be able to find these people and prove that they're actually being negligent.
Like, he literally became a forensics person, so he knew exactly what not to do to get caught. Like, he literally thought he was going to get away with it in the end.
Mm-hmm.
And he would have if Hess hadn't have saved Tulane.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Tulane probably would have broke free and either died or saved the day, but, like, he would have gotten away with it for a while if Hess hadn't have shown up.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Also,
crazy.
He literally died instead of atoning. They just took him out.
Yeah. I know. Like, yeah.
Just ended abruptly.
Got shot. Right.
With a car.
Oh, yeah. The wreck. Where did I think he got?
I mean, he should have gotten. I mean, because Hess was shooting at the car trying to get it to stop.
Maybe that's what I was thinking of.
But, I mean, he literally dies. It's like, it builds up for 500 pages, and then...
I know.
I hate when books do that. When it builds up forever, and then it's all over, and, like... Because it was literally, like... Hess helps Tulane break free, and Gens is dead, and they know exactly where to go to get the girl, and then it's over. And then Hess and Tulane go their separate ways.
Yeah. Spoiler alert for Girl with a Dragon Tattoo. It's the same thing. It builds it up the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, you've seen the movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much how it plays out. He gets in a car wreck.
At least the show, I don't know, maybe it's just because it's the book and it feels faster, but the show plays out that final, like, not Gens dying and stuff, but, like, Tulane being in the house with Rosa and stuff is a whole episode on its own. Like, it takes a while.
Yeah.
So I think they did really well with that. But I feel like the author ended this book on a cliffhanger where he could write a sequel, or maybe he wanted to and just didn't. I mean, because there's Tulane and Hess. They're obviously interested in each other. They go separate ways. Linus Becker is released from the hospital because he's not actually the killer of Christine, because Christine's alive.
Yeah.
But he's now obsessed with the Chestnut Man.
Exactly.
So
he was playing them so hard.
I mean, he knew. Like, he wasn't so far gone that he thought maybe he did it. He knew he didn't kill Christine.
What were you talking about?
Sorry, we had a potty break. I don't know. I know I was talking about Gens and Tulane. Oh, about how the author left off on a cliffhanger where he really, like, I don't know if he intended to be a cliffhanger and be done, or if he was leaving it for a sequel, but it feels like it needs a sequel because Linus Becker literally shows that he's obsessed with the Chestnut Man. He keeps the article, and then Tulane and Hess.
It makes you think they're gonna bang.
Well, I mean, Lee literally adds Hess to their family tree, and Tulane hangs it up in their apartment.
Oh my gosh.
So, what does that say?
I mean, and Sebastian wasn't even on their family tree.
No, because Tulane didn't want him to be.
But she even said she was kind of annoyed with Sebastian the last time we saw him. Because he just showed up, but then it was like it never mentioned him again.
But, like, also, all the time she randomly showed up at his apartment or wanted him to show up, it was fine until it was time to get serious, and she was like, I'm out.
You need to back off, bro.
I mean, she literally tried to have sex with him in front of his parents that one time.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't know his parents were there, but
yeah,
his pants were literally about to be pulled down, and then his dad walks in and was like, what's going on? And they just, like, played it off. Like, it didn't, like, they didn't go into detail about, like, oh, Sebastian's dad was awkward. It was literally like, Tulane was invited to dinner after that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and, she even makes the comment, like, I'm just using him for sex.
Literally, to his family. And he still buys her flowers and asks her to move in. And it's like...
And she's like, man, I don't think so.
Like, how do you not get the hints? Like...
Yeah. But that's how they set up Girl with a Dragon Tattoo. And maybe that's why I'm finding all these, like, connections. Is because it makes you think that Mikhail and... oh, no.
Daniel Craig, no.
Daniel Craig and Rooney Mara are going to hook up. What the fuck is her name in the book?
I don't know. I watched the movie once when I was like 12.
Mikhail Blomkvist is Daniel Craig. And she is... I read this book and I've watched this movie a bajillion times. Hold on.
But I do think, I mean, I get Sebastian's point of view too, because she talks about how she doesn't want to move in with him. Like, he asks her to move in and she turns him down, but then still wants to sleep with him. Literally calls him or shows up at his apartment randomly. Of course, he's getting mixed signals. Like, the day she's in the car with Hess and someone knocks on the door and it's Sebastian with wine and flowers. Yeah. She's cool with it.
Well, I thought she kind of seemed, she was like kind of annoyed.
I mean, she was, cool. But she still went with it.
Right.
So, like, he's going to read into that in the way she doesn't want him to, which, I don't know, maybe Thulin just wanted to be nice and, you know.
Yeah. Lisbeth Salander is the girl with the dragon tattoo. I don't know how I forgot that. I've read that book twice, and I've watched the movie a whole bunch.
You've read it twice and memorized the name? Sounds awkward.
Lisbeth Salander. But yeah, I kept waiting for, I mean, maybe that was a smutty person in me. I kept waiting for Hess and
I don't know. I mean, I think I'm so like used to it too that I was like, I mean, even in the show, like, there's sexual tension and stuff, like, they portray it that way, and you're like, huh.
Well, he even makes the comment, he's like, of course she has someone to go home to.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he talks about her body, they kind of flirt. He literally is like, we have to save Thulin. Like, obviously, you want to save a partner, you want to save a coworker, but he is, like, obsessed, like, we have to do this.
And it talks about how he's, like, concerned about her pretending to be Yessie.
Yeah, he hated it.
He was like, I'm stressed out. I'm worried.
I mean, he even at one point was like, I can't remember what it was happening, but he was like, you were supposed to be with Lee. Like, you need to, like, you have to take care of Lee.
Yeah. So, I wish they would make a sequel or something so they would have sex.
Mm-hmm. Which I think
it would get smutty real fast.
I think Thulin kind of softened up to Hess after Nylander told her the backstory.
Right.
And then Hess shows up at the apartment that day and Lee makes him sit down for breakfast and stuff and is showing him things. And then Granddad shows up and kind of spills the beans about Thulin, about being in foster care and stuff. And I think that's when Hess was like, oh, so she's not just some prissy shithead. Like, she's got baggage too. I can relate.
Yeah.
So
they both soften to each other.
Which I get. Trauma
bonds.
Trauma attracts trauma.
Yep.
But they both, well, I'm not going to say that. Thulin managed hers well. Hess was on the run, and he kind of had to cope with it a little bit when he came back to Copenhagen. But that meant he dove into his work, didn't really sleep, was literally a hot mess 24/7, but I'll be a therapist another day. I'm off until Thursday, so.
I have to work tomorrow, but I'm off Thursday and Friday. Whoop, whoop.
Happy birthday. It's your birthday. Happy birthday
to me.
So.
I did like this book.
Yes. I did too. What do you think was the best part of the book?
Oh my gosh. Well, a lot of parts confused me. But I think that was the audible.
Well, let me rephrase that. What stuck out? Like, what clung to you the most? What, like, when you think about it, what is the first thing that pops out?
Oh, the dismembering of the victims.
Yes. The fact that they literally were alive. Imagine being Yessie, and she literally has 3 appendages.
Yeah. That first one where it's telling you, she's like, I'm awake, and I can hear the thing.
I feel like Laura kind of just, like, gave into it, too, because she's like, why? Why are you doing this? And he tells her, and she's like, I kind of already knew. I suspected it, but now I know.
Yeah.
It's like, I think she gave in at that point, because she was like, I let my child get abused.
Yeah, sexually.
And fucking fought for her life. She thought she made it, and he came out of nowhere and was like, I've been waiting for you, bitch.
I know. But it was
then Yessie, they were so convinced that they had the right plan. And it would have worked.
I know.
It really would have worked if that police officer, detective, had not gotten his head up his ass. Because Yessie would not have left that house trying to figure out what the fuck was going on.
I know.
She was protected. She was going to be okay.
I know. And even she was like realizing like I need to make changes. What can I do to like get to point A to point B?
Well, and I think that was also like a warning too. If Yessie had survived, I think Tulene would have been the third victim.
I really saw Tulene becoming a victim just because it kept talking about her blown, like she forgot about picking up her daughter.
But I think Gins had such a soft spot for Tulene too. Mm-hmm. He was trying to find reasons not to make her a victim.
Right.
And he was able to pull off Yessie, and Rosa had to be the last one regardless. Mm-hmm. That she just got lucky.
Yeah.
If Yessie had fallen out and he hadn't been able to make her a victim, though, guarantee Tulene would be dead.
Yeah. For real.
She would have fought like hell, though. That would have been a crazy-ass section of the story.
She's a tough bitch.
I mean, she fucking ran after that train. Fucking found body parts in a weird-ass fridge in the middle of an abandoned weird... If you see the show, it's a lot more intense in that section.
I know. I'm going to watch the show maybe like this weekend. I wanted to start it last night, but kids would not allow me.
You also worked like super late last night, too.
I did. I didn't get home till almost 8 o'clock.
Jesus.
I know. And by the time I got home, my kids were like, where the hell have you been?
I mean, that's literally your baby's bedtime, so.
I know. I walked in, I put Violet to bed. Silas was like, where have you been? I need to be with you from here on out.
It's also fall break. What the fuck is up, mother?
Yeah. Silas is counting down to my birthday, though.
Oh.
She's like, how many nights till your birthday? And I was like, 2. And she was like, okay, because we're going on Thursday, which is my birthday. We're going on a hike. Mm-hmm. We're going to come home, put our pajamas on, and we're going to binge watch Nailed It.
Oh,
the new Halloween episodes.
Love it.
That's our show. We're going to binge watch Nailed It. And then Daddy is going to bring home some delicious food. And we're going to eat. And that's our day. And Silas is really excited. She keeps saying, how many bedtimes till your birthday? Because she cannot wait. So I'm excited. It's going to be fun.
Well, tomorrow she's only got one more.
I know.
Because she's probably already in bed now, even though it's fall break, I'm sure.
Maybe. What time is it?
Almost 11.
Yeah. Well, last night she was like ready for me. I laid down with him last night in the playroom at like 10:40. And then the baby woke up and she was like, I want to go to bed with you right now. I was like, okay. But yeah, that's what happens when I work late. They act like they haven't seen me in years, which is awesome. I miss them too, so it's awesome. Anyway, I really like this book. I would definitely give it a solid 4 out of 5. And I only give it a 4 out of 5, like maybe even a 4.5 out of 5.
If there weren't so many characters, I think it could be a 4.5. There's so many side characters, and I will say, even in the show, trying to, like cross Rosa with the Chestnut Man and adding in the extra 2 characters that are out to get her at the same time causes a mess. I know the book was so hard keeping up with that. Even in the show, it's like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
I did feel like Christina was alive.
Yes, because there was no body. And then
when there's no body, there's no death.
Well, because they were trying to say like he was a paranoid schizophrenic. Mm-hmm. But even we're literally therapists. As a schizophrenic, the fact that he could not find a single body part, could not remember where a single one was.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's literally schizophrenic paranoid. He's going to know exactly where they are as a paranoid schizophrenic. Mm-hmm. That's the thing.
Yep.
Like, he would know because he's going to be paranoid about it. Literally. Has to know where it's at.
When he was acting a fool, I didn't believe it, but then he was like, oh, yeah, well, I know. I'm obsessed with the Chestnut Man. I know everything.
Like, he literally took the fall for the Chestnut Man.
Yeah.
So then you for sure knew Christine was alive because he literally admitted he did not do anything to her, which means there's another person out there.
Yep.
Who also somehow magically has Christine's fingerprints on Chestnut Man.
Exactly. And I was like, I felt like she was alive, but then I was like, oh, what if I'm wrong?
Also, do you know how awkward it has to be for Gens to be a grown-ass man making Chestnut Man and then going to get a teenage girl to put her finger on it?
Yeah, touch it. Touch my Chestnut Man.
Like, a grown-ass man making Chestnut Men to literally put at crime scenes. Also, during Anne's murder, he literally stabs it into her shoulder. It's not on the ground anywhere because it's in the forest and he doesn't want it to get lost. He literally jabs it into her shoulder so they see it immediately.
Ugh. And that had to be, ooh.
Which, I mean, she was probably already passed away at that point, but still, like...
Still.
Just
Yikes.
adds more gruesomeness to it.
Yeah.
Of all the things, you stab a Chestnut Man into her shoulder.
Yeah. Ouch. I hope she was dead at that point. But...
Also, don't you think it's so crazy? And I know it has to be the most major coincidence, or maybe Gens planned it that way. I don't know, they never say. But Anne and Laura literally are about to leave the abusive men the same moment/day they're killed.
Yeah.
Laura changed the locks while Hogg is away. Anne is literally packing a bag for her and the girls to literally leave while Eric is working. And they're both killed. After they finally...
I know. And what if they never would have found that out? Then these kids would have been left with their abusers.
I mean, Hogg literally was begging for chapters to get back to Magnus. That is disgusting.
Yeah.
You know what you did, and the only thing you care about is Magnus, and you play it off like you're this great parent for him.
Even Anne's husband was like, now it's just the girls are gonna be less difficult now that Anne's gone.
Yeah, because you're gonna whip them into shape or whatever.
Exactly. So had they not caught on to what Gens was doing, these people would have been left with their abusers. Magnus would have continued to get raped and assaulted.
Well, I mean, they didn't even figure out what the killer was doing when they realized Magnus was being abused. It was literally Hess being an overly cautious human being. Mm-hmm. And it was pure luck. He saw the picture that Magnus drew, and he's like, why is the garage so much bigger in this picture? And he's like, okay, I guess I'll check it out because I don't want this to be a waste of my time.
Yeah.
And he got lucky.
Yeah.
It was literally pure luck. Otherwise, Magnus would have been with his abuser for the rest of his life.
Yep. Exactly. As with Anne's kids. Mm-hmm. They'd have been with their dad who beat them.
Also, I can see Anne not speaking up because maybe she thinks she's protecting her kids and herself. But her mother literally comes forward after she's dead and it's like, oh yeah, I always knew he was a piece of shit man and he kept me for my daughter.
I know, right?
Then why didn't you say something sooner? Damn.
Yeah.
See something, say something.
Yeah. Especially my child. Even if my daughter doesn't want to listen, I'm still gonna...
I mean, like, Magnus was kind of isolated to Laura and Hogg. Like, he had nowhere else to go except for school. And they thought he had autism. So, like, no one else was ever going to notice that something was wrong with him. Or, like, something was happening to him.
Yeah.
But Anne's mother literally knew Eric was abusive and just didn't say anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, and it kind of says a lot that Anne was literally going to leave with the girls and grab passports because she wasn't even going to go to her mom when she ran. She was leaving the country.
Yeah, she was getting the heck out of Dodge.
So,
yeah, totally agree. All right, guys. Do you have anything else you want to add in?
No, I don't think so.
Well, that was The Chestnut Man by Søren
Sveistrup.
Sure.
Yeah.
4 to 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Really good. That's kicking off our October books.
Mm-hmm. We have our next one picked out.
We do. I'm looking up the name of it real quick.
I'm looking up the author's name. I remember the name of the book.
Yeah. Jennifer McMahon.
Yeah.
I'm sure we butcher a lot of these names, and I do apologize.
Yeah.
It's got a Goodreads Choice Award It's a Goodreads Choice Award nominee.
I mean, both books we've done for October so far, like, either the author has a lot of not rewards. I mean, they're rewarded every day, but they have a lot of awards, or the book itself does. which, I mean, a literal show is made off the Chestnut Man. This next book we're doing has awards for it specifically.
Yeah.
So we're starting out with some bangers.
Heck yeah. The Invited is supposed to be spooky. I'm pretty excited about it. It was on Book Talk. So hopefully, yeah, we'll see.
Just in case you guys were wondering, I picked Chestnut Man. So Caitlin is picking our next Spooky Month book.
Which, like we said, we've said this time and time again, write in, recommend some books. For the month of October, we're trying to do some spooky stuff.
Yes, because we will record... Well, I mean, you guys are going to hear this tomorrow, hopefully, if you're avid listeners. And you'll know that The Invited will come out on the 12th.
Mm-hmm.
So we probably won't be able to get your recommendations in for the following episode, but we'll still have 2 weekends before the end of October. So if you have recommendations, send them in ASAP.
Yeah, this one will be out on the 5th. So The Invited, like Sarah said, will be out on the 12th.
Mm-hmm. And
so we'll still have the 19th.
And the
26th.
And we'll still be in October that last week, so it may come out on November 2nd, but that'll probably still be a spooky book too, just because most of that week's in October.
Maybe. I am all for some It Ends With Us.
That's true.
And It Starts With Us.
Yeah, that's going to come out November 9th.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Well, October 18th is a release for It Starts With Us.
Yeah, I know. I want you
and
to
I need
suffer.
some Atlas and Lily action. So, present day, not back in the day. I need that to play out. So.
We'll see.
I know. I need some muddy action. So, between some Atlas and Lily.
Are you saying that, you're being depraved? Deprived?
I am depraved.
Deprived.
I am being deprived. No, they're soulmates, and I need some smutty love action with Lily and Atlas, and It Starts With Us. Because I've posted on our social media, It Ends With Us was probably one of my favorite books of 2022, because I did discover Colleen Hoover. And that book just, Lily and Atlas
pulled you in.
I can't wait. So It Starts With Us comes out October 18th. So my goal, and we can change this up if we need to, is to start out November with It Ends With Us, and then the next week have It Starts With Us, because I need to read it ASAP, and we can't because it's still October.
Well, and I don't know, that's why that's my question for you, I guess, because we will release an episode the 26th, and then we're still in October until the following Monday. So, are we going to start It Ends With Us for the week of the 7th, or are we going to just end October with It Starts With Us?
It ends with us.
I mean, It Ends With Us. Sorry.
Yes.
You know what I mean.
Yeah. I say let's start November with It Ends With Us.
So, we only need one more recommendation for Spooky Month then, if we're going to do that.
Yes.
Because we will start reading Ends With Us. We'll do It Starts With Us after. But we will do It Ends With Us after the 26th episode comes out. So, November 2nd. It ends with us.
And then the November 9th, It Starts With Us. I can't freaking wait. I'm so excited.
I know, you've been talking about this for months.
I know, I'm so excited. So that's what is today? We're recording late, so it is the 4th. So 2 weeks from today It Starts With Us.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I'm so excited. I've been waiting for 6 months?
Yeah.
I remember texting you.
You were literally have you read It Ends With Us? And I was like, no. And then you'd be like, have you read it?
Didn't I buy that for you for Christmas?
Yes. You're like, have you read it yet? And I'll be like, no. And you're like, well, I guess you have 6 months, but get it over with.
I know. I'm so freaking excited. 2 weeks from today. It's freaking happening.
Yeah, but you can't read it then. You gotta wait.
I know, but it's only like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Well, it comes out on the 18th, and you will read it
November 2nd.
Well, no, yeah. I mean,
I've already read It Ends With Us. But
you'll probably binge them both. You'll be able to start reading them.
The 26th.
22nd, actually, because we'll be recording that night for the 26th. So, like, we'll be moving on to It Ends With Us on October 22nd.
I'm so excited.
Because then we will record that episode on the 29th and release it on November 2nd. So you are literally less than 3 weeks away from reading them.
Yay! I've been waiting for this all year long, guys. Once spooky season's over, we are going to start moving on to some coho. Colleen Hoover.
Are we? No, I'm just kidding. I like Colleen Hoover.
Have you read November 9?
No.
Okay. We'll be doing some November 9. That was a good one, too.
I think that's one of the books you got me for Christmas.
Was it? November 9?
Yes, because I read Verity, and I've read It Ends With Us. And I think I've read one more Colleen Hoover book. I don't remember. I'm
sure.
She's got a couple. I think I've read 3.
Love.
I think I've read 3. I didn't read Ugly Love because I asked you about that one, and you said it was meh.
Meh.
But anyways...
All right, that's all we got. We're
ranted for a little bit.
We're crazy. We've ranted about fall. We've gone crazy tonight. Anyway, get some Ghostbuster, a.k.a. green tea. It was delicious.
Witch piss.
Witch piss. All right, guys. Have a great night.
We will catch you next week, Smuts.
Later.